We do love a bit of success in this country, and currently the England cricket team, wow, they won 6 of their last consecutive test matches. We're doing well internationally with the one-day game. We've got a big, exciting series coming up against Australia this summer. To discuss that and a life in cricket and much more, I'm joined by Pat Pocock. Pat, welcome to Talking Pints.
Thank you very much.
Great to have you. Now, a long career. There you were in county cricket for over
5 years.
Yeah, you know, I mean, and yet in those days, it wasn't very well paid, was it?
Not at all. It just rose slightly as my career went on, but no, it's peanuts compared to what it is now, yeah.
So cricketers would play their cricket in the summer and then have to get jobs in the winter?
Yes, very much so.
What did you do?
Well, there was a good side of that as well, because if you reach the age of 33 or 34 and you have to pack up, it's best to have a little bit of knowledge in one trade or another and find out how offices run and how marketing budgets work, because there are so many of them now who only play cricket and they get to 34 or 35 and they have to pack up, and I hope they've made a lot of money in that, because trying to get themselves a job when they've got nil experience in any of the avenues required to play is pretty tough, and some of them get quite depressed.
And even Test cricket, and you know, you played Test cricket. Even Test cricket wasn't really big money. I guess Kerry Packer changed all that.
No. My 3.5-month tour at the West Indies, my first one when I was 20, I got the princely sum of £700.
Did you? Yeah. We have had a bit of inflation since, but even so, it wasn't big money. Now, Pat, your Test career. They kept picking you, playing you for a bit, and then they put somebody else in. It must have been frustrating for you. I mean, obviously delighted to play for England and very honoured, I'm sure, as everybody is, but frustrating. I mean, you know, what happened with your career? Did it just not quite gel at Test level? Or?
I went 8 years in the middle of in my peak, when I wasn't picked. My first tour I picked when I was age 20. On Carragher's tour to the West Indies, and my last one was David Gower's in '84-5 to India, and both of them were fantastic tours for different reasons. Phil Edmonds and I used to bowl all day, every day throughout the whole tour, and David Gower said that he was able to keep control because we did a good job.
Yeah, and in the end, Pat. You know, but people are going to remember you for a long time. Not because you played Test cricket, not because you did quarter of a century with Surrey, important and honourable though those things are, but because you have this incredible sporting record. Talk us through it. Why are you a world record holder? To those that don't know much about the game, and for those that do, remind them.
Anybody who has a record like I had of 7 wickets in 11 balls, I mean, that was, you need so much luck, and so much just happens to be by chance. Now, the best I ever bowled in my career was against the West Indies, against a very, very powerful side with little short boundaries and a fabulous wicket to bat on. And I bowled 51 overs, 0 for 150. Now, I've never, and everybody, when I came off, they came up and in the side and they shook my hands and said, well, blah, blah, blah. And yet you try to say to somebody after 25 years that the best you ever bowled, you got 0 for 150. But no, everything just happened to get, every time they hit the ball up in the air, somebody caught it, and every time they missed it, it hit them on the pads and they were straight, or it bowled them out. But everything just happened to go right, you know, that's really...
7 wickets in first-class cricket in 11 balls. It may never be beaten.
It may not. We're playing at Eastbourne against Sussex.
Yep.
And it looked like we lost the match, and then suddenly, bang, 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 the wickets kept falling. And in the end, they blocked it out for a draw. But that was good, yeah.
It wasn't good. It was absolutely blooming amazing.
It was great to get a draw then.
And that's a story you can tell for the rest of your life.
But you need luck. You do need luck. Luck is... I worked in golf full-time for 24 years when I packed up playing. And if somebody gets a hole in one, skill takes it to 5 feet and luck takes it into the hole. And you have never seen anyone score 100 without them playing and missing, say, 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
Well, just one of those times, instead of playing and missing, they nick it and they're out.
Yeah.
So you need skill to score 100, but you need luck as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
You do need luck.
And self-confidence. I mean, in all sport, you know, because you go through a period when you've lost your form and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
I mean, amazing, isn't it? You know, I'm a very keen follower of cricket and, you know, over the moon. I was at Lord's when we won the 50-over World Cup final. What an incredible day that was. But the Test team, you know, Joe Root, fabulous batsman, one of the best batsmen we've ever had.
Yes.
And yet, as leader, I think I'm right in saying we'd won one of the previous 17 games.
Yeah.
And then in comes this swashbuckler, a bit like a guy you played with called Botham.
Yeah.
What was it like being in the team with Ian?
It was a very lively experience. You could never... I remember when we were going in for a meeting, he said to me, look, Pat, he said, don't talk about cricket for too long. He said, otherwise we'll never get down the pub. Yeah.
I'm absolutely certain.
No, that's not strange, is it?
No, I'm sure that's right. But Stokes is not dissimilar, is he? This big, strong, a level of self-belief that is...
Very gifted.
Brilliant. I mean, batsman, he can bowl, he's taken a few wickets bowling too, everything. But suddenly, he's come in as England captain with this coach, McCullum, with him. And we've now won 9 games out of the last 10, and we're winning them. I've never seen Test cricket like it, have you?
It's amazing, and it's come at a very good time when Test cricket needs a really good boost of fast scoring, because people have got used to the shorter form of cricket, the white ball cricket, and it's very good. Yeah.
How good is this England team? Is it too early to tell?
They're performing really well. They haven't really been up against it much, which might be the reason because they're performing so well. But they haven't been tested when they're really up against it. I mean, every now and again, obviously, they have a session where things don't go their way. But at the moment, they haven't been tested that much. But no, we've got a very good side. We've got loads of individual good players, and
I'd love to see cricket back on terrestrial television.
Oh, very much so.
You know, we have a much bigger audience. Because what strikes me, Pat, is this is amazing. We've got this incredible team. You know, we're brilliant at Test cricket now. We've got Australia coming up. I feel really good about the Ashes this time round. I really do. We're good at 2020 nationally. We're good at, you know, World Champions, 50, all of it. And yet, if you look at the proportion of England cricketers, both men and women, who were privately educated.
Yes.
Nothing wrong with that, but given that 7% of the population go to private schools, at least 50% of our teams in recent years have been to private schools. So we're not getting cricket in enough state schools, are we?
We've only got cricket, I believe, in 15% of the state schools. Now, all the county sides, they want to sign the best players they can. But if only 15% go to the state schools, and the chances are the better players are going to come from the public schools. So there's no other reason than skill and skill and skill. They just want to pick the best players they can.
Yeah, and so that reinforces itself.
And so if we want to have more people from the state schools playing, we've got to get more state schools playing cricket. It's as simple as that, really.
Well, I hope we do, because actually globally, cricket is becoming massive. I mean, you look at India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. I mean, hey, you know, you've got between 1.5 and 2 billion people living in those countries. The IPL, I mean, it's almost like Premier League football. Yes,
and it's also good that Pakistan has come back into it again, and the reception that everybody got, not only the players but all the journalists as well, was absolutely amazing in Pakistan.
No, phenomenal. And you did a bit of commentary too after your playing days, didn't you?
Yeah. I worked with John Arlott and Brian Johnson and some other people, and it was a great experience, but it was marvellous.
Couldn't be like work, really, could it? I mean,
It couldn't work, or it's not light work.
It wasn't light work. I mean, it was like a day out, wasn't it?
Of course it was. Yes, of course it was. It was very good. I enjoyed every minute, and it was funny having somebody talking to me in your ear, and he gives you an instruction while you are talking. Oh yes, it's, you know, and as soon as you hear your name, as well, you're a professional now, much better than me. But as soon as you hear your name, you start to stop talking, and you've got to learn how to.
Yeah. Now, the other great skill that you've got, Pat Pocock, is, you know, you get up on stage. There's a bit of Welsh in you, isn't there?
Oh yes. And
you like to sing.
Oh yes, yes I do. I'm emptying some bigger places now.
Are you still doing the singing?
No, hardly ever.
This was an Albert Hall charity event, and you got up and stole the show. Well,
I mean, I did 4 songs, the Sinatra numbers and the Presley ballads and that sort of thing. But I can remember when you have, as you well know, when you have a theatre and you have a blackout and somebody talks, it's called a voice from God. And there was a blackout with 2 pin spots into the middle of the stage, and a voice from God says, "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome former Surrey and England Test cricketer." And you can hear him thinking, "What on earth's he doing up there?" Oh dear, yeah.
Pat Pocock, you're a man that enjoys life. You hold a world record that may never be beaten, and thank you.
Thank you very much
for joining me.
Thank you, and I hope you enjoy your trip to Lord's.
I'm looking forward to it very much indeed. Thank you.